What is going on YouTube? Video coming at you from Redskins Rant. Hail to the Redskins. I have not been filming for a while. To sum up, I had a surgery where I had like a hiatal hernia. I got removed. So that was kind of an issue. And then at my job, I was the only one working for a long time. So I basically worked open to close every day except Sunday. So that was pretty tiring as well. So I just haven't really had time to like make a video. I've been keeping up with Redskins. I've been keeping up with Washington. So I have, this is basically kind of a state of the union. We talk about the state of the Washington football team right now. The first thing I'll talk about is where we're at when it comes to our record. Right now, Washington, I believe, is 4-7. Okay, Washington's 4-7, and I think we're in a good spot when it comes to our division. Our division right now is hot garbage, and we're all pretty much. Let's see, I'll tilt this a little bit. There we go. The division is a little bit kind of like in shambles, so to speak, but we're all around the same record, and so it's kind of technically it's anyone's game. Anyone can win it, but I think we have the best odds. I mean, Phillies looked horrible all season. They have injuries everywhere. Carson Wentz is playing the worst he's ever played. New York Giants, their quarterback got injured, and they're starting Colt McCoy. So I don't think they're in a good spot right now. I'm going to tilt it back this way. I think it's a little better that way. Okay. I don't think they're in a good spot right now. And then you got Dallas has Andy Dalton at quarterback, and they can't stop anyone. The team's just not very good. The coaching's really bad with that team. So there's a lot of things, and I think Washington right now we're just hitting on. We're hitting our stride. I'm saying we're not doing super well, but we're hitting our stride. Our defense is looking better. Our offense is looking way better with Alex Smith, which I want to talk about. Alex Smith. Alex Smith has made this team look significantly better. He's been a better quarterback than we've had from anyone else this season. The offense runs smoother. I think there's more of a belief in the guy behind the helm. Even though he's not like, first couple games he had a lot of yards, but the last couple games he hasn't. But we've won those games. And we've won those games because he's making smart decisions. He's handling the ball. And even when he wasn't, we were still in the game, and he was slinging the ball everywhere. He was finding guys open. He looked great. So that's where we're at right now with Washington. Now, I want to say this. If we just made better decisions as a team, coaching decisions, we would have 7 or 8 wins right now. We beat the Eagles first game of the season. We lost to Cardinals. We lost to the Browns. Then we lost to the Ravens. And then we lost to I think it was the Rams. Okay, we lost all them. Then we lost to the Giants, and then we beat the Cowboys, and we lost to the Giants again. Lost to Detroit. So and then we've won our last 2, which is the Bengals, and then we beat Dallas again. So we've only won 4 games. We have 3 games in there easily we could have won if we had just not shot ourselves in the foot and just played a little bit smarter. Easily would have won those games. We should have beaten the Giants both times. There's 2 wins. Okay, and then we should have beaten the fact that we lost to the Detroit also kind of makes me mad as well, because we should have won that game as well. We had opportunities early to score, and dumb play calls got lost of yards, got us out of field goal range early a couple times, like once, and it's just stupid shit like that. Stupid dumb shit like that that's cost us games. So coaching decisions. And then against the Giants, coach decides to go for 2 rather than go for 1, and he uses dumbass decision. I'm not going to get into that. I'm not talking about coaching at this moment. I want to talk about like the record. We should have at least 7 wins right now. Right now, Washington should be 7-4. Potentially, I think we could also beat if we played the Browns again. We'd probably beat the Browns. I think we played Arizona again. We'd probably give them a better run for their money. But the 4 sure ones we should have won are the 2 Giants games and the Detroit game. So right there, we should have 7 wins under our belt. Our schedule our win, whatever you want to call it, should be flopped. Okay, now going forward, the rest of our schedule. Can we beat Pittsburgh? I'm going to talk more in depth about Pittsburgh later, but we can beat Pittsburgh. The way they're playing right now, it's definitely a possibility. Would I put money on it? I mean, I actually would, because even Washington won. The betting line is like really good for what? If you put $100 bet, you win like $250 or something. So, yeah, and so Washington, I would bet on it. Would I stake my life on it? Probably not. Okay, but it's possible if Dallas or Steelers play the way they've been playing, anything's possible, right? And Washington's got a good enough defense, keep them in the game, and the offense just has to move the ball enough to get points on the board. So and play mistake-free football. Possible. Okay, let's look at the following game. The following game is the 49ers. That's definitely a winnable game. They don't have any of their good players. They have none of their good defensive linemen. Now, they've played competitive in most of their games this year because they're well coached. So that game is not exactly it's a toss-up. I mean, Washington can win because they're the healthier team, but also if we come off let's say we beat the Steelers. We go off the Steelers win, and we're riding that high. I mean, there's two ways that can go. We can be overconfident, go and get our butts kicked, or we can be very confident, confident in our abilities, confident in X, Y, and Z and what we're doing with our team, and we go in and actually play very well and just play. We know how we're going to win. We have a formula for winning. And we execute it very well. So that game's winnable. I think the Panthers game is next after that. The Panthers game is very winnable. The Panthers have not looked good all season. Teddy Bridgewater's looked okay. Their defense within the Panthers is not the greatest. I mean, they're not bad for what they've been left with. They lost a quarterback. They lost a running back halfway through the season. But, I mean, they don't look the greatest. Let's just say that. But we can definitely beat the Panthers. And then we have the Seahawks. Now, a lot of people are saying the Seahawks are like chalked up as a loss. I don't see that as a loss. The Seahawks can't stop anyone from scoring. Okay? They cannot stop anyone from scoring, and we have one of the best pass defense in the league. And Russell Wilson is very good. And Washington traditionally has a pretty good track record against Seattle for the most part. So, and they're not the Seattle of old. They're not like the Legion of Boom and stuff. It's literally Russell Wilson or bust. They have a decent running game, but we have a good we have a good defensive line. They have a good passing game, but we have one of the best pass defenses in the league. So, and part of Russell Wilson is Russell Wilson Cook. Let him throw the ball deep. We don't give up a lot of deep touchdowns. We won't give up 6 this year. So, I see that as a game we can win. And then the Eagles, the way the Eagles are playing, I mean, you never want to count out anyone in the division, but I think we're definitely can beat the Eagles again. I think we're better than we were the first game. They're worse than we were the first game. Plain and simple. I think that's just how it is. So at the very least, from this moment on, I think we have 3 games we can win. I think we can beat, for sure, I think we beat 49ers. For sure, I think we beat the Panthers. And then for sure we can beat the Eagles. Okay, so that's 7 wins right there. Now, if we win, we beat the Seahawks. Yeah, there's another win right there. And then we're looking at 8-8. And if we beat Steelers, that's another one. But I think if we win 3 more games, we're going to win the division. So I think I'll just be happy with that. I don't get overzealous with everything else, but that's where we're at right now. And I just want to know, we would be running away with this division if we could just beat the easy teams. If we just would have beat the Giants and Patriots or Detroit. We wouldn't have to worry about everyone else. We don't have to worry about the Ravens, the Browns, the Rams, the Arizona. We didn't have to worry about those teams. We would and just beat the teams that we should have beaten, that were good enough to beat on any given day, and we don't have to have things go our way. Just play a normal game and play smart. We would be running away with this division by 4 games. Or 3 games. 4 games. Now 3. Well, it'd be 3. It'd be 4 games plus. And the reason why I'd say that is because the Giants wouldn't have 2 wins. They'd have 2 less wins. So they'd have 2 wins. So we'd be 4 games up on 3.5 games up on the Eagles and the Cowboys, I think. So, all right. So, now I'll talk about the schedule and the implications of where we're at right now. I'm going to talk about Steelers game. So, Washington plays the Pittsburgh Steelers. First off, I think the Ravens should have had to forfeit their game. I have a bunch of Ravens fans who are friends of mine. They got very pissed when I put this on Facebook. Like, no, you guys broke protocol on a massive scale. and teams had to move their games around. Washington does not play well on primetime. Well, I don't know. Under the last regime, they did not play well on primetime. Let me rephrase that. Under this regime, I don't know, but we haven't had a primetime game yet, except for like Thanksgiving, if that's what you want to call a primetime game. Washington does not play well on primetime. So, 5 o'clock isn't really primetime, but it's going to be nationally televised. So it's a better way to put it. Okay, so now the game went for the Ravens. It got from Thursday, Thanksgiving, pushed to Sunday at 1. Then it got pushed to Sunday evening. Then it got pushed to Monday evening, and then it got pushed to Tuesday, and then it finally landed on Wednesday. And I don't think that's fair. The Broncos had to play with a not even a fourth string quarterback. They had to play with a receiver playing quarterback because all their quarterbacks broke protocol. And yet an entire team can have games moved around so the guys can get out of protocol to play a football game. I think that's wrong. Because now you had to move two other teams had to move their games around. Thursday night, 2 days ago, today's Saturday. Thursday night, the Ravens and Dallas were supposed to play on Thursday night. That was when they were supposed to play. Now they got to play on Monday as well, same time frame. So now that game got moved. Now Dallas has to move their game around. And then Washington has to move their game now. Their game was supposed to be on like Sunday at 1 or something like that. I actually had tickets initially to go to this game. I was excited about it because, a long time ago I had tickets. Once COVID happened, they refunded them to me. But I was excited about that because, it was my dad hasn't gone to a game in a long time. So I was taking my dad, my mom, her dad, my wife, her dad, her mom. So all of us were going to go to the game together, and it didn't end up happening that way. So I was a little upset about that. It is what it is. I'm not going to cry about it. But now Washington's game's moved to Monday. It's at 5, which is different. And the reason why I don't like that is because initially I thought that they were going to have a short Steelers are going to have a short week, so that's kind of beneficial. They still have a short week compared to how much time Washington's had to prepare for the Steelers. But it's just bullshit that they have to move all this stuff around. So now I've talked about the BS that happened with the Ravens. Let's talk about the game. Washington is going in this game at 4-7. The team they're playing is 11-0. Steelers have not played anyone good. Okay? There's only 3 teams that they've played that have winning records, and they played one of them twice. The first team they played with a winning record, Browns. Then they played the Browns are 8-3. So Browns actually look legit. They've only lost 3 games. I think the games they've lost, they got like their asses kicked. But the Browns have actually looked really good this year. Or not really good, but better. They've looked better than they have ever in the history of their franchise for a long time. So the Browns are looking okay. But when the Browns played the Steelers, it was a blowout. The Steelers pecker smacked them. I think that game's going to be different next time they play. I think the Browns are going to be a lot more competitive. I think they found their mojo. They figured out who they are, and they're playing a certain way. I think the Browns got better once Odell Beckham Jr. went down. I don't know why, how, or what, but they did. I think maybe Baker Mayfield was force-feeding them the ball, but it is what it is. And they played the Titans, and the Titans should have won that game. The Titans came back from down 27-10, and if it wasn't for a missed field goal at the end, that game would have gone to overtime, and I give the edge to the Titans. All the momentum in that game was going towards the Titans. So that's another game that was lost, or the team they beat that sucked. And then you have the Ravens twice, okay? And they played some pretty bad games against some pretty bad teams. They played against Dallas, and Dallas is horrible. Dallas is really bad, and Dallas took them to the wire. If they just had a slightly better quarterback, they probably would have won. Or a slightly better coach, they probably would have won too. So, we can sit here and say it's 11-0. It's such a good team. It's not. It's fool's gold. I would say they're probably better than Washington, but I think Washington is good enough to beat them. When we rephrase this, the defense. Pittsburgh's defense is okay. It's pretty good. I want to say okay. They're number 1 in the league in pass defense. They're pretty good at run defense. They're pretty good across the board. Honestly, the Steelers' defense and the Redskins' defense, or Washington's defense, whatever you want to call it, it's pretty much the same. statistically they're pretty straightforward across the board. They have the same strengths and weaknesses. Their strengths are the D line. Well, with Steelers, they just lost Bud Dupree, so they went down a little bit. Washington lost the defensive lineman that was good early this season, but he's more in a rotational piece anyway in the middle. Not like he wasn't like a pass rusher. He was more of a run stopper. So that's a little bit difference of the guy we lost compared to the guy they lost. But regardless of that, I still think Washington I don't want to say is the better defense, but they're definitely a good enough defense that they can get the job done. They can definitely get the job done compared to some other teams that have played against the Steelers. Probably the best defense Steelers have played all year. Next to maybe the Ravens. But the Ravens, like the second time we're playing their JV squad, and they still held them a that many points. So I don't know. I expect the Steelers to throw the ball quick. They're not going to. Steelers are not a good running team. They're James Conner, they're running Snell or whatever his name is, Snell. They're not the greatest running backs. They don't have the greatest running backs. They don't. There's not a good running team. Let me rephrase that. They make the effort. They try to pound the ball to be balanced. They do make the concerted effort to do that. But I just don't think that they're going to be able to run the ball on our defense. So they're going to make them very one-dimensional. And Ben is very good at getting the ball out quick. And it just depends. They can either get the ball out quick, and they're going to take those short passes, which that's not a bad strategy because they have good receivers, and the receivers are good. But Washington the last few weeks has been very good at tackling. They've been playing this like keep people in front, bend don't break, and then that's helped them in the red zone defense. They have the best red zone defense in the league. Washington does. They have the best, one of the best passing defenses. They give them like the least amount of first downs per game on average. It's like 19 or something. That's actually very low for a team that's given up like those short passes and keeping everything in front of them. That's actually not that many first downs. So I think Washington has a legitimate chance to win this game. What they have to do is, bend don't break, hold them to field goals, don't give up touchdowns, and I want to say just try to wear down that defense. Okay, try to wear down that defense. Don't try to obviously you want to take a shot deep once in a while, but Alex Smith does not need to be throwing the ball 40 times in this game. If he throws the ball 40 times in this game, I think that's a bad sign. Okay, I mean, unless he's just like his inner Aaron Rodgers comes out and he's just slinging the ball left and right. I don't think you're going to be in a spot where he needs to be. If we're winning, he's not going to be. It's not because he's throwing the ball 40 times. If we're winning, it's because our running game, we're pounding the ball. We have Cornelius Lucas back. We have Morgan Moses playing left tackle. And I'm going to mention something. I'm not going to ever apologize for what I've said about Morgan Moses in the past. I don't like Morgan Moses. I never have. I kind of do now, but never have, and I might kind of like him now. But Morgan Moses in the past has always had dumb false starts, dumb holding penalties in worse spots. Especially like during Alex Smith's first year, he would put us behind the sticks a lot, all the time. Because he's always holding, he's always doing something dumb. Well, now I've gained a little bit more respect for him. Okay, I respect the guy. I don't like him, but I respect him. He is he's been healthy most of the year, but he's played through injuries. And he even put it upon himself to go to left tackle, and I think he actually did very good at left tackle. He's done very serviceable, beyond serviceable at left tackle for the last couple weeks. So I'm proud of him for that. I'm happy about that. I'm not going to sit here and ever say that I am a big fan of Morgan Moses. I'm not. He's done too many things that I think are just unforgivable to me. I'm not going to rain on him now. He's done a great job. He's switched positions to help the team out, and I gotta give him a lot of respect for that, a lot of props for that. So good job, Morgan. I'm proud of you for doing that. I'm happy that you're doing that, doing what you're doing. Keep on playing hard. I'm not happy about stuff in the past, but going forward, I'm not gonna give you too much crap because you've done a lot for the team, and I've given you crap for other things, and I'm not going to apologize for that. I'm not going to. You were rightfully criticized then, and you're rightfully being praised now. That's the way I'm looking at it. So good job. I'm happy you're doing those things. I'm proud of you. And going forward, I'm going to be a little more, I'm not going to say any harsh things about you. But yeah. So anyway, back to it. Washington has a good chance to win. And I'm at work. So that's going to sum up our video. I think Washington has a legit chance to win. The way they're going to win is they're going to ground the ball. They're going to run the ball and run the ball and run the ball. And they're going to run the ball a little bit more until they actually have a chance, until they wear down the Steeler defense. Alex Smith will throw a couple times. He won't throw 40. If he throws more than 40, we're in trouble. Okay? That means the game's getting out of hand early and we're forced to throw the ball to try to play catch up. But I think we've gotten past our shortcomings of like not understanding that we need to establish the run early. And with Alex Smith, it just seems like there's more of a threat to throw. So teams have to play us more balanced rather than like, oh, McKissick's in the game, they're passing. Oh, Gibson's in the game, they're running. Both of them can run the ball. Both of them can catch the ball. So teams have to play a lot more honest. So this is JD. This is Redskins Rant. Hail to the Redskins. Please follow me on Twitter. It's Redskins Rant, actually. You can follow me on Instagram if you want. It's my name, James Plank 88. But thanks for watching, and hail to the Redskins. See ya.